best 2 hours of Elvis.
Blue Suede Connection.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When we listen to Elvis records, we focus on Elvis.
Right, yeah.
And as great, as magnificent as he was, you don't really realize how important the backup bands are and the backup vocals. And today you're going to find out, because it's all about Elvis and the Sweets today. You're going to hear from some of those sweet inspirations like Myrna Smith, Estella Brown, and Sissy Houston, Whitney's mommy.
All right, yeah.
And you're going to tell how this the sweet inspirations came together, where that's all from.
Exactly.
And you're going to hear from them telling their stories about Elvis today. It's a party. It's all about the sweet inspirations. And of course, the main dish on this plate is Mr. Elvis Presley. All right, here's Estelle and Myrna to get things started.
Our agent calls us and tells us about it. And, we go like, Elvis Presley? I mean, why? I mean, our sounds are so different. But I later learned that we were not Elvis's first choice anyway. A group called the Blossoms, who were background singers for Tom Jones, he asked them first because he had worked with them, and they were in his '68 special, that's the Blossoms, and they were busy with Tom Jones.
I said, no way. What in the name of God are we going to sing with Elvis? He's a blue suede shoe, and we're singing I need, it's a whole different thing,
We didn't know what we could do for Elvis. But Elvis had something in mind. It was magical when it happened. But when we went to Vegas, when we saw what he wanted to do, having a flavor of gospel in our sound, and the other group that he was using, they were males, but they were a gospel group. And then he had these rock and roll musicians, and then in back of that, he had a whole orchestra. Then we could figure out what he was doing. But he had this whole thing in mind from the start.
Now that we're aware that we're listening to the sweet inspirations, you realize what a big part they play.
Right,
huh?
yeah, especially when you play the right songs.
Yes, exactly.
You can really hear them.
And I made sure I picked the right ones today.
Yeah, you did a good job, babe.
And one person that I told you that started the whole sweet inspirations, Whitney Houston's mommy, Sissy Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she's the one that started the group. And
correct.
Her and Elvis became very good friends. And
really?
She still has rings and all kinds of stuff that he
That's
gave
sweet.
her. And she never had anything bad to say about him, only wonderful things. And right here's an example.
We went to work for Elvis Presley 5 weeks, and it was wonderful. He was wonderful. I loved him. He was such a gentleman and all that to me, He was into gospel. So every once in a while when we finish rehearsal, we just sing gospel, all of us, And we just had a good time.
We talk all the time on the show about how you can't categorize Elvis's music as a country, as a blues.
Sure.
Right, there's an example, because that really is a country song.
Right.
But the inspirations gave it soul.
Right.
With their and all that in the background, which kind of makes it not country anymore.
I know, right?
What is it?
It's hard to...
It's just Elvis.
It's just like when Elvis first came out. What is he? Who is he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they didn't understand it at first either, as you heard them say when they walked in, like, hound dog, blue suede shoes, we're soul.
Yeah, how are we going to fit into this?
Yeah, then they saw the orchestra and saw a rock band and a male quartet and like, wow, this is crazy.
Elvis took all those genres that he himself dabbled in and stuck them on stage.
And little do we know that, you never would have thought this shy little humble country boy would have had all this in his mind.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he knew what it was going to sound like ahead of time, and it did.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. Tell us a little bit about the inspirations, who they are, and how it all came about.
All right. Well, as we heard earlier, Myrna said Sissy Houston formed the group in 1967 in New York City. They were already, all of them were already group session singers. They were already in the sessions doing backup vocals for, as you heard Elvis say, Aretha Franklin and many others. The original lineup was Sissy Houston, Sylvia Shumwell, Myrna Smith, and Estelle Brown.
Right, okay.
Right. And before Elvis, they had done Aretha Franklin. They had done work for Wilson Pickett, Herbie Mann, Nina Simon, Solomon Burke, Chuck Jackson. It goes on and on and on. They did have one album out, and that's where the hit Sweet Inspiration came from.
Okay.
And the song hit hit number 18 on the pop charts and number 5 on the soul single charts.
Wow.
And that was their debut of 1967. I think that's how Elvis first heard them.
Right.
He heard Sweet Inspiration, the song. Originally, he wanted the Blossoms to open for him because he had worked with them in the 68 comeback special in that gospel set.
Darlene Love.
Yes, but they were busy. They had previous commitments and could not come work with him, so he knew exactly who he wanted as his next choice.
Sure.
And the whole album itself, this Sweet Inspiration album, hit number 12 on the R&B charts for the album.
Great.
So they did really good.
They've had success all through the years, with and without Elvis, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, here's Estelle Brown talking a little bit about the inspirations in Elvis.
Elvis said, come on, gang, we're going upstairs. So we would have to go up to the suite with him on the top floor of the Hilton, and we would sit there just about all night long, singing gospel. Laughing and talking and singing. Laugh and talk and sing and eat.
You know, the other day I was waiting for you to get home, and I just popped on the TV and I saw the Elvis Lives concert was on.
Right,
And I started to watch it. You know, that's when they brought back all the band members to the stage and Elvis was on the screen.
This was on Elvis's 20th anniversary or something.
And you saw that show in person. You were there,
I was
right?
live in Memphis, yeah.
But what I observed on it was I was obviously watching all the people today, what they looked like. This was in 2000 and
20 years or so after.
But I watched the Sweet Inspirations, and Estelle especially was ecstatic up on that stage.
Oh yeah,
I was watching her face. The girls were having so much fun. They were just loving it. They were just having a good time. And Sissy came back because she had left after a while,
right,
to do other projects and things like that. But the three girls stayed: Sylvia, Myrna, and Estelle. But Sissy came back for those shows, and she was having a ball too.
Right.
And I was just watching them, and they were like a highlight for me. I was like, those girls are loving it.
Yeah.
All right, baby, let's get back into it. Here's Myrna, and hear what she has to say.
And we were treated with such care with the Elvis people. And we didn't have to fend for ourselves. Like if we went on the road to Sweet Inspirations, we had to drive to where we were getting, or fly, whatever, and perform, and sometimes not even get paid. And Elvis paid us very well. And he allowed us to, we even brought our own band with us. And we opened the show, we were on stage for 22 minutes. And we made enough money to fly all of us out there, give us a great pay our band, buy new outfits, have our charts done.
You know, Elvis loved the Inspirations. They loved him. Elvis loved his band.
Yep.
He loved everybody. And one thing I like about Elvis, he loves showing them off and he put the spotlight on them many times.
Yes.
Myrna said it, he paid them very well, and he let them perform for 20 minutes before he can come out, doing their songs.
What a great honor.
Brought their band there.
Yeah.
And paid for that. And, you know, that just says a lot about who he was.
I tell you, it's really unusual to find artists these days that are willing to give up spotlight for a few minutes.
Definitely. The egos today, you're not kidding.
Oh, my Lord, yes.
Can you feel me, baby?
Amen, brother.
Baby, we've gave him a phone number, and we want you to call us. Please call us, because we love you.
Because we're lonely.
Yes, and we're lonely, and we want to hear your voices. But also, they can come check us out on Facebook. We have a web page and all that kind of stuff. They can learn about us, the show, and all kinds of good stuff. How do they do that, babe?
Well, Facebook's real easy. Just type in Blue Suede Connection in the search bar, and we'll pop right up.
Lots of pictures, lots of stories, lots of good stuff. And you're the author of most of that good stuff that's written.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy that.
You're talented like that. Yes, you are. Here's Sissy, and we'll hear what she had to say about Elvis. He said he was a lot of fun.
A wonderful person, but he was just as nice, fun. You know, he cracked jokes, and you'd be singing, and he'd make you laugh and whatnot. So we had a good time.
Hey TL, I think Elvis fans are starting to catch on to Blue Suede Connection.
What's not to love, Daniel? 2 hours of great Elvis music, lots of fun. It's our own private party.
And we want everybody to be part of the party. Hear all the hits, rare cuts, and lots of surprises too. We are your Blue Suede Connection. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And hit that notification bell.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.